Hey, this is Cahill, host of the Let's Talk About It podcast. This podcast is about motivating and inspiring professionals in the beauty industry. If you like this podcast, make sure you subscribe and enjoy the interview. What up, boy?
What's going on, man? Man, it's good seeing you today. Yeah, heck yeah, man. Go freshen your boy up, man, with this interview.
I guess, you know.
Yeah, a little something.
I do what I can, do what I
Yeah,
can.
do what you can. You know, boy, thin a little bit, man.
I barber school last Wednesday. We'll see.
Hook it up for me. We appreciate you. Yeah.
All right, brother.
Yes, sir. How you doing today, bro?
Doing good, man. Doing good. Can't complain. Life is good.
Good.
The sun ain't out, but it's still a beautiful day.
Oh, yeah. It's a beautiful day today, bro. Man, we out here in Coronado, beautiful San Diego. About to get a fresh cut by my man Mike. You know what I mean? You know how this is. This is K the Barber on Let's Talk About It podcast, and we're about to do something different for y'all today. I got my man Mike Brown out of the IE. Well, what city you from, bro?
I'm from Moreno Valley. I was originally born in Chicago, Illinois. Moved out here at a very young age to all over California. And right now I'm in the IE. And for the people who don't know, it's about an hour and a half from LA. It's about an hour and a half from here in San Diego.
Yeah.
But, you know, hey, living life.
IE is Inland Empire, if y'all don't know out there. You know what I'm saying? It's Californians know what that is. But yeah, man. Mike about to hook me up with a nice little taper and give me a nice little beard trim. I mean, I'm excited for this conversation because, you know, this is something different that we do. Other than being in the studio, I had a vision to kind of coming out here to Coronado, California, and showing y'all basically showing his skills, showing something different. And we're gonna be talking a lot about mental health, how Mike kind of grew up in the barber game and the things that he's done to be successful in this industry. First question, Mike, I wanna ask you, man, is why did you become a barber? And what's your barber name?
My barber name on Instagram is Mike Brown 1972. You guys can follow me. I follow back. I'm not one of those dudes that, you know, don't follow people back because, you know, they think they are whoever they are. But
Yeah.
just follow me, man. I'll follow you back. How I became a barber, you know, I was at a point in my life where I was in transition from high school, college, and I was trying to find something to do, you know. And at that time, I was working at warehouses and, you know, just odd jobs. And I was like, you know, well, what do I know how to do? So I was cutting hair for a good, about 10 years maybe, you know, before I actually went to barber school. And my cousin had a barber shop in San Bernardino, which is in the IE. And he said, man, look, if you go to barber school, you know, when you get out, you can come work in my shop. So I was like, okay, well, I've been cutting in the garage for a while, so I was like, okay, well, let me go. By the time I got out of barber school, the shop was closed.
Oh, wow.
So now I'm in transition trying to find a barber shop. And a guy from barber shop came in and asked, you know, does anybody want to, you know, come work? And I said, sure. So I was at that shop for about 17 years. And I just kind of like grew out of it. You know what I mean? I would do barber shows and stuff, and I would represent the shop, but I felt like the shop wasn't representing me back. Mm-hmm. You know, so I had another homie who worked down the street, younger guy, name was Alex Q. And he said, you know, you want to come work for me? It was a younger shop, whole new clientele. I was like, you know, let's do it. You know, I started a new chapter is what it felt like. You know what I mean?
No, I remember when you actually transitioned into the new shop, man.
Yeah.
I mean, you were telling me that like you needed to maybe like grow a little bit.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. So I mean, let's go back to like you, 17 years in the shop, and wanting to transition. Do you think that was it an easy transition from, you know, going from clientele at a shop and then going to a newer shop? Did your clients follow you?
Well, fortunately, yes, because I was maybe like about 2 lights down from the freeway.
Okay.
So that part wasn't that hard. What was another transition was the shop that I was at, it was more of a mixed shop than where I was coming from.
Okay.
Where I was coming from, it was 90% black. And over here, it was like damn near 50-50, you know, straight hair and black hair. Mm-hmm. So that right there is something else that I needed. That kind of like, influenced me to go also, because I was kind of getting like in a certain place where I felt like I was getting stuck, in the same thing every day.
Yeah.
So that kind of like gave me a change, you know what I mean? And I was all up for that, because in this business you gotta be versatile. You can't just,
Yeah.
I mean, actually, let me go back on that, because you do have to be versatile, but there's also money in just finding your lane. You know what I mean? Because you can be a six-figure barber just cutting the same hair every day. Or if you want to be different, you can be a six-figure cutting everything a day. So, it's good for change, but if you find your lane and make money at it, at that, I don't see, what the problem is,
No, that's not. So for me, like I ended up, I was working in the shop, like when I first got out of barber school, and growing up, man, like, you have black friends, and all you do, you cut your own hair, right? Of course, I'm black, and then you don't have that experience with like other types of hair. Yeah. You know what I mean? And so like for the very first, from 14 and all the way until I was 25, man, I only cut like black people's hair, right? And so I mean, to be technical, it's called coarse hair, right?
Hold on, before you go on. See, I know a lot of people say curly hair and black hair. It's okay to say black hair, okay?
Right.
It is what it is. It is what it is.
It is okay, because I mean, like I said, I was trying to be technical. It's called coarse hair, but it wasn't until I went to school where I was able to actually experience just how to cut straight hair, right? And learning the techniques of that. But what was really dope, man, was when I got into a regular barbershop, and I was working next to, shout out to Abel Palomares, man. He's a dope barber out here in San Diego, but he's a Mexican cat. And man, he taught me a lot about like what type of clippers to use, what type of techniques to use as well when it came to like cutting straight hair, man. So like being versatile in this industry is key. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, like you don't want to, how should I say it? You don't want to like turn down a client if you walk into that shop.
Right.
You know what I mean? So yeah, man, that's dope that you was able to grow, bro. You know what I mean? You still growing?
Still growing, man. That's the good thing about this industry. You never stop learning.
Yeah.
I mean, styles change in this industry faster than the tech industry.
Right.
Tech industry changes every 6 months. How many times do you get on Instagram and see something different?
Right.
This industry changes every day.
Right.
Just about every hour sometimes, you know what I mean?
Right.
So
No, I feel you.
it's always something to do, and it doesn't matter how old you are, how young you are, this industry will keep you busy.
So what new techniques or new things have you learned like within the last, let's say, like 2 or 3 years, you should say?
I don't know. I'm at a place now where I don't want to say I know everything, which I don't, but I'm kind of in the middle of growing right now, teaching, barbers who don't have a lot of experience, showing them what I know, and showing them how to do what they want to do according to what they tell me, And I'm just in like this, I don't know, like this teaching type space now. You know what I mean?
What school are you at? What school are you teaching at?
None. I mean, every now and then I
Okay,
go to a
I
school.
think she was at a school. Oh no,
So whatever chance I get, like if I'm at a barber thing or something, and I see a bunch of youngsters, whatever, I talk to them. I do schools every now and then. I do like a demo, but most of my demos are mostly talking than it is actually cutting hair, because you're gonna learn how to cut hair in the barbershop.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I just want to kind of just prepare them for certain things.
Right. What is like one thing that you kind of emphasize when you go into these settings of teaching students and everything, or doing demos? Like, what are like a couple key points that you kind of like hone on to newer barbers?
Mostly just to be yourself, be a good human, do your money right. Number one, I know a lot of barbers that don't, file taxes or even save money. A lot of them, spend it on tattoos and Jordans and clothes and stuff, and which is cool in the short term. But if you plan on doing this for a while, and you really got to structure your money, spend it right and save it right. So I do a lot of that. Technique and cutting out, I don't really do a lot of that, but I just teach them how to be like people, you know what I mean? Because your personality is what's gonna make the bag bigger. You know what I mean? It's not really much of your skill, because everybody can cut hair, you know? It's about how you relate to your client and, you know, the conversation that you guys have, and you know, that's what's gonna bring them back.
No, man, that's crazy. Like, I was telling a barber the other day, I was like, dude, people have to like you in this industry.
They do.
All right, you can't be a a-hole or a jerk and expect people to come and sit in your chair and spend their hard-earned money that they work every week and try to get fresh by you. So I was like, dude, you gotta kind of like loosen up a little bit. You know what I mean? Smile. Let people know that you care about them, and not just is about like you just cutting hair. Oh, I just want to cut hair. No, it's more than that.
Yeah,
it's more than just cutting hair, man. Like it's an actual experience that these people come to you, right? And they want an experience, especially going to pay. You know, with the we charging now, man. We ain't broke no more. You know what I'm saying? Bob, we making money now. Barber's making money now. You know what I mean? Right. So you know, it's kind of wild like that, man. So let's go back to Chicago and your upbringing in Chicago, right? Like, what part of Chicago are you from? I know you're from Chicago, but you know, there's different sections. What part of Chicago are you from?
I was born on the south side.
Okay.
34th, Cottage Grove.
Oh.
Just to be specific.
Uh-huh.
You know, but you know, that was a long time ago. I did most of my growing up in California, but I'm gonna tell you that if I was still in Chicago now, I would either be dead or in jail. I mean, there's no doubt about that. Yeah. You know.
And why is that? Hold on.
Just because of the area. You know, the area that I was in, I wasn't in the projects or anything like that, but I was in an area where shit wasn't good. You know, and I feel that if I was still there, I would either be dead or in jail, man, because my family members was wilding. You know, my friends that I had, everybody was wilding, so I knew that I would have probably went down that same path. I'm just gonna be real with you.
Right.
You know, but my mom, since we go a little deeper.
Yeah.
My mom met my father in Chicago, and my dad is a superhero, bro, like for real. You know, I was very fortunate to grow up with him. He taught me everything I know. Right now he's in the hospital. He's been in the hospital for like about almost 10 years now. But now I've noticed the strength in him now more than I did when he was out. You know what I mean? So it's like sometimes when I can't deal with shit out here, I think of him. Right? There's something he's going through in the hospital right now. And that's what, you know, kind of keeps me going. But they met like back in the 70s, and my dad, he had a good job, moved us out of Chicago at the right time, and we actually came to Irvine.
Irvine, I graduated out of Irvine High School, bro.
Yeah, really?
Yeah, I did.
That was a real culture shock for me and my brother, bro. Because we come from Chicago, and in Chicago at that time, the police department was black, the fire department was black, the mayor was black, everything was black.
Everything black.
And when we came to Irvine,
all W.
Total U-turn, dog. Total U. Me and my brother fought every single day.
Word.
So they had to take us out of the school because we've been being called the N-word every day. So we
a lot of
day.
racist encounters in Irvine.
Oh yeah, Orange County. Sorry, Orange County, but yeah, it is what it is. You know, but like I said, coming from all black city, that was a hell of a culture shock.
So what made your dad move to Irvine out of all the places? California is big, right? So did he have a job out here that he got from moving from Chicago to California, or like?
Well, he did. He had a job, a very good job. He worked at 3M.
Okay.
I don't even know if 3M is still around today, but they made medical products and stuff.
Oh, okay.
So he moved us out to Irvine for that, and plus, he didn't want to go to LA because LA would have been just like Chicago, So he kind of moved us out there with the white folks, which is cool. I mean, we needed that. Like I said, if we was in Chicago or anywhere else, we'd probably be dead or in jail. So yeah, I mean, my hats off to my pops. My pops did everything he could, to help us, and he came from shit.
From dirt.
Right.
Right.
I mean, I got pictures at home where they in front of a shack or something, and they just dingy looking.
Yeah.
How did you get out of that to?
Right.
Because he's always provided a good upbringing for us. We never lived in the hood. We never wanted shit. You know, it was my birthday, my brother would get a gift. His birthday, I would get a gift. You know what I mean? And actuality, he's actually my stepfather, but it feels like I came out of him. You know, that's how he treated us.
That's dope.
Me, my brother, and my sister. You know, I never felt like I was a stepson. You know, so
That's a good man.
yeah. I mean, that's man. I learned everything from him. And, you know, and he was never like one of those fathers to be like, don't do this, don't do that. He would say that every now and then, but he mostly led by example. You know what I mean?
Good. That's good. Yeah.
So, hats off to that guy.
What's your pop's name?
My father's name is Curtis Brown, superhero, whatever you want to call him. That's my guy right
Curtis
there.
Brown, a superhero.
Yeah. And my mom was a traditional mom, you know, took care of the house, cooked. You know, she didn't have to worry for shit. She didn't have to go to the mailbox to even get the bill. You know what I mean? Pops took care of all that, you know. And I love my mama, you know. That's
good
my
stuff.
girl.
That's good stuff, man. So you got a good foundation, man.
I do, and I'm
dope.
very proud of that. There's no shame in that. You know what I mean? I would never fake it like I'm from somewhere that I ain't, you know, just to get attention or whatever. No, I had a good upbringing. That's just what it is.
Right. It's kind of the same with me, right? I'm from LA, but I'm not from like South Central, or I'm not from the East Side. I'm from San Fernando Valley.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And San Fernando Valley is kind of like a lower middle class type neighborhood. I mean, some areas are pretty good as far as like Northridge and Woodland Hills and Calabasas, you know, that are really, really influential. Then you have the other spots as well too, man. So, you know, just coming up, like you said, with just having diversity, sometimes it can kind of like, you get the best of both worlds.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just growing up and stuff like that, dog. So
Now, the decisions that I made, the bad decisions that I made was on me. You know what I mean? And I knew I wasn't raised to do a lot of shit that I did when I was, you know, 17, 18. But it was just the environment that, you know, that I was around, you know. And I really never even went too far into that. I always knew that, oh, no, this ain't right. So let me go on and go. But you know, when you got friends and everybody, you know, having fun and shit, you young. You know, you do stupid shit.
Yeah, don't snitch on yourself, man. You know, we on camera.
hey, we ain't got to, because we had cameras. Yeah, none of that shit back then, so I got away with all that shit. These fools nowadays posting everything.
Oh my God, they put their whole life on social media. Oh, bro. So I've watched your journey, man, in barbering, right? And from, you know, we met in Long Beach a few years ago, before the pandemic, and like just seeing you, man, and I admire you, bro, because like you said, you like to give your knowledge back to the younger generation. And I know I'm not that much younger than you, but I'm still, like we was at a barber competition, and I was kind of a novice at that, and you gave us some tips of how to compete and how to be a barber, how to be a better barber when it comes to competition and stuff like that, you know what I mean? So I appreciate that too, man. You know, you kicked our butts the first day. You and the Titus, y'all both did y'all thing, you know what I mean?
But that cut y'all did was nice. It's like from that day on, you and your boy just took off.
Yeah, David Gifted Hands.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I remember it was one show, another one in San Diego, where y'all did this chick. She had a baseball bat. She kind of looked like
that was in Long Beach.
That was in Long Beach.
Okay, so we did the one in Long Beach. It was called the Hot Hands, right? And then the next year, you gave us some pointers. I think you got third, right, man? You put he did like a flat top with the designs, and he put like some blue lights down the dude, and they were like flashing down my man's flat top. I was like, man, what the heck? How you do this? He was like, bro, I'm telling you, he said, to compete, he said, well, you gotta do some crazy outlandish type stuff.
Yeah.
And then from there, I mean, we didn't place, but we learned from that, right? And so we came back the next year. Me and David got third, and we actually beat you out because you competed that time.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So it was it's definitely it was great, man. Like, you know, doing that, but you know, seeing your journey, bro, from being that influential barber, humble, really, really humble, and then now seeing you to where you're in the place where you're consistent and you're constant in your craft and you continue to grow and teaching people, it's admirable, bro. So like, you've been barbering for how long now?
24
24 years.
Yep.
Okay. And so now I remember seeing there's a point in your life, right, where I saw you was in the hospital. You know, I was like, oh snap, man, what's going on, my boy, man? You know what I mean? Talk about that experience. You know, going to the hospital and actually sharing it with the world, because you put it all on social media too, and letting people know what you had going on with yourself, man.
Yeah. So with that, I mean, I can tell you what happened. I mean, I went to the barber shop one day and I was on a cut and I had to go to the restroom. So I left the cut, went to the restroom, and I couldn't go. Right? So I'm like, well, you know, this never happened to me before. Like, what is this? So I finished the cut. I still had to go to the bathroom the full 30 minutes. You ever do like the PB dance? You know,
Yeah, right.
But eventually, you have to go to the bathroom.
You got to use the restroom, right? It's coming out.
So I would do the PB dance, and then when it came to having to go, it would just go right back up in my bladder.
Oh.
So I got to the hospital, and the doctor said I had a liter of urine inside of my bladder. So if you think like the little 7-Up thing, I had all that in my bladder, and I was like bent over. I've never felt any pain like that before. I was like, look, y'all got 15 minutes to get this up out of me, or I'm finna die straight up, because it felt like he was just finna just boom,
explode. Right. So
a
liter, bro?
A liter.
That's crazy.
So I finally got that taken care of. They did surgery on me, but the part that really set in about that whole journey was the in between from when it started to pretty much now. You know, it brought me closer to God, you know, because I sat on my butt for a good year, you know, cutting every now and then, you know, but still it didn't feel like I was back in the swing of things.
Right.
For a year. But the most important lessons that brought me was, it brought me closer to God. It showed me who is who, you know, because I told a lot of people, you know, that I'm gonna be down for a while. Some called, checked up on me, some didn't. I had people that I used to cut once a week, and they would still send me money, you know, even though they didn't get the cut.
For real?
Yeah, even though they didn't get the cut. So you know now that I cut them, I take care of them.
Oh yeah,
all day. I would work on my day off to come and do that.
Y'all drafted into the price forever.
Ever. Grandfathered in.
Yes, they are. Yeah.
But yeah, you know, it showed me a lot more about life, you know, and I'm glad. I know it's gonna sound weird, but I'm kind of glad that I did go through that or something, because I was just moving. You know what I mean? I wasn't recognizing nothing. I wasn't recognizing my blessings, nothing. I wasn't paying attention to people until that happened. You know, God will do that. God will sit you down.
He will.
And make you look around at your surroundings and, you know, and evaluate shit, you know. But, you know, I had bills coming in, you know, I wasn't working, you know, I mean, I was just praying like, God, you know, please help me. And everything got paid. Everything got paid. I didn't fall back on nothing. You know what I mean? So when I got back to the shop, you know, I was happy to be back, but it felt like I wasn't gone that long.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Because, you know, God had me, man. He was right there. I mean, like literally right there. It's like times I just heard him saying everything's gonna be okay. You know, every time a bill came in and somehow I got paid, that was him saying it's gonna be okay. You know, I had to shut the hell up and listen. That's the first time I ever did that in my life. You know what I mean? I've always been next to God, but not like this though. You know, and I think it takes stuff like that for people to actually get closer to him, because he knows that. He knows that you're going to come to him at your lowest point. Yeah. You know, and that really didn't kick in until that time. You know, a lot of stuff had changed in the industry. You know, during that time. You know, I wasn't really worried about none of it though. You know, it's in the beginning, I was just like, I'm just get through this. You know, I'm not even going to look at no YouTube videos, no barber, nothing. I'm not gonna look at none of that. I'm just gonna get healthy. You know, I didn't even have a passion really. You know, and then when the passion came back, I started slowly getting back into it. And I feel like I didn't miss a beat, you know, but it was a learning experience, man, and I'm very appreciative of it.
So we went. So you say you went to the hospital. You had like, they say you had a liter of urine in your bladder. So what is that? What were you diagnosed with?
Okay, so what happened was my urethra, which is where the urine goes through, comes out.
Yeah.
It was closed up.
Oh,
Right?
okay.
And I asked, like, how does that even happen? And they said either a trauma or an STD. And I've
Okay.
never had an STD before.
Right.
So it must have been some kind of trauma to it. She's like kicked in the balls or something or anything. So a lot of people who come in there with that problem doesn't really remember how it happened, because it could happen years ago, because it takes years to actually close up.
Okay.
So it was either those two. So I'm thinking, maybe, I don't know, maybe when I was a kid, I got kicked in the nuts in a fight or some shit. I don't know.
Right.
All I don't know is that this shit hurt.
Hey, fix it.
Yeah,
Fix it,
please
as soon as
fix this.
possible.
Yeah. So I had to go 7 months first with a catheter coming out of my bladder. He cut a hole in my stomach.
Okay.
And had a catheter coming out of my stomach down my leg. And I'm thinking, I can't go to work like this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I got used to it, and I found different type of catheters where you can hide them and stuff like that. So about 4 or 5 months into that, I went back to work.
Okay.
Catheter and everything. I didn't tell anybody. I was just doing my thing.
Right.
And
Just grinding.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then 7 months later, I had a chance to get the surgery. I had to wait 7 months to get the surgery.
Oh, okay.
So I got the surgery after the 7 months, and I took 11 days to heal, and I went back to work. Now, the thing that happened after that was the catheter being in me for so long, I had got bladder stones.
Oh, snap.
So they had to go back in and get those out. So I was gone for another month and a half after that, right? When I thought I was,
was done.
back into it.
Yeah.
I was dibble-dabbling, in the gym, I really couldn't go how I wanted to. 'Cause, all your pressure comes from down in that area, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I tried a few times, I said, nah, let me go and quit. So I had the second surgery, stayed down for another month, and then I came back. And ever since then, I've been good. I go to my checkups every 3 months, every 6 months.
Okay.
And so far, everything's good,
Okay.
And before that, I haven't been to the doctor in like 30 years. As men, the doctor and us don't really get along. Being a man.
Hey, it really doesn't, man. But I had a health scare when I was in the military. I was 20 years old, man. I was diagnosed with leukemia, right? And so I go to the doctor every year. I've been going to doctors every year since then. But it's amazing to me how many men, black men at that, right, don't go to the doctors, bro.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm like,
What do you think that is, though?
you know what, fam? I really, with the unknown is scary. Personally, that's what I'm thinking. Right. And I also think that we don't trust the doctors.
Yeah, that's it.
You know what I mean? I really feel like we don't trust the doctors. We don't trust their diagnosis and stuff of that nature, man. And people would rather just not know, right? And also be scared at the same time. I didn't talk to a bunch of clients, because we cut number men, right? And dealing with men, I try to encourage them to go to the doctor. They just won't go. And a lot of times what they say is like, man, I'm fine. Nothing's wrong with me. Or I just don't know. I don't want to know if something is wrong with me at the same time. You know what I mean? So
I think vulnerability has a lot to do with it too.
Oh, snap.
We don't want to let down our guard and say we're weak at a certain point.
That's good. Yeah. Vulnerability. I think men need to be vulnerable.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, we're human.
Right.
I mean, that is in us. You know what I mean?
Right.
To express your feelings and get that shit out. That's we have to do that.
Right.
But as men, we're taught not to. And for some people, they can get along in life and not expose anything. I'm the kind that need to get that shit out. I'm gonna be real with you. You know what I mean? I sit and think about a situation and get teary-eyed. I don't give a shit.
Right.
You know what I mean? I have to get that out. That's just me.
Yeah, I feel you, man. I'm thinking about my son right now while we're talking about that, and like, is that how we treat our sons is how they grow up in life, right? And so, for me, I'm thinking like, okay, how do I treat my son different than I treat my daughter? And I'm not gonna lie, fam. Like, there's certain things that I tell my son not to do, and then I let my daughter do, especially when it comes to their emotions. And especially, you know, some of my son, we have to, but do we really have to? Is it okay for my son to cry? Is it okay for my son to be vulnerable, or be sensitive? You know, those are the things I battle with, right? Because like you said, as a man, you know, you're taught to like toughen up, don't show no emotions, don't cry, right? And so that's the things we learn from other men. And then what do we do here? As a man, that's all we know, so we teach that to our kids. And so for my son, I battle that sometimes of don't be sensitive, don't cry. Why are you crying? You know what I mean? And I don't know if I'm doing the right thing or not. One thing I do like is that I have a wife that she's definitely in tune with her emotions, and she definitely loves our son. And she's always talking to me about that, like, hey, you know what, you need to be a little bit more open to his feelings and his emotions, and you know, and so he kind of gravitates more towards her when it comes to his feelings and emotions, which I understand, you know what I mean? But as a man, he looks up to me. I mean, as a little kid, he looks up to his dad. Right. I need to, you know, teach him, like, okay, it's okay to cry, son. It's okay to give me a hug. You know what I mean? Yeah. So
especially the emotion between you and your son. That's
right.
really important.
Yeah.
If you don't do it out in public, at least, you know, with you two, you know, show that emotion between you two, because it's gonna be a time where you and your wife, you're gonna be gone, you know, and it's gonna be your son and your other kids. You know, they're gonna have to be able to, you know, sustain life. You know?
Right. You know what I mean? Dealing with anger issues and just dealing with stuff like that. You know what I mean?
You ain't gotta be no punk, you know, cry at every situation. You know, but
right.
you know, but you gotta be a man. You know, but it's times where it's okay to do that. And you know, even, you know, I'm saying that now. A lot of people probably gonna see this and like, no. But they know, the people who say that know that it's times where they be in situations where they gotta let it go. You know what I mean? It's an emotion that God gave us that we just can't fight. You know what I mean? So you know, it's just. I have daughters. I have two daughters. I have a 26-year-old and I have a 30-year-old. And you know, I teach them like man code sometimes. You know, I have to.
I mean, come on now. You know,
I tell you,
know
like,
how it
this
is.
dude gonna do this, do
Right. Yeah.
I have to teach them that. You know, but I got some good daughters. I never really had to like tighten them up. You know, because you know they're emotional. You know, so I just figured out a way to communicate with them, and obviously it worked because they're not in jail. They ain't out here smoking dope. They ain't got a little punk ass dude, you know, chasing down a little punk ass dude. So whatever I told them, the shit's working.
It's working, right?
Exactly. When they got a problem, a serious problem, they'll call me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If they ain't calling me, then I know that they good. You know what I mean?
I feel you. So like you know, you get out the hospital and like you're now back working, right? You're on more of a health journey now, right? So
yes.
You went from, you know, old school Mike Brown before you got sick to now the new school Mike Brown. So tell us about your health journey, you know?
My health journey, I changed pretty much a lot of what I eat. I'm in the gym 6 days a week. You know, it takes a while to stop eating a lot of the trash that's used to eat, because I've been eating the same thing for like 40 years.
Like
I'm not going to change.
What's trash?
Trash is fast food, fried food, alcohol, weed.
So you don't drink or smoke no more?
I do drink and smoke, but it's in moderation. Okay. I used to drink every day. Like I used to have a 6-pack or a bottle of Henny, you know, at the house. I don't have none of that no more. But yeah, it's just the stuff that you eat and knowing what it does to your body. Especially when you get our age, you know, you really got to be conscious about that. When you're young, you can eat a lot of shit, but it's gonna be hard when you get older to like kind of reverse that. But yeah, I've changed everything I eat. Like I said, I go to the gym. Not as strong as I used to be, but you know, I do old man workouts. You know, I mean, I rest longer.
Right.
Now, first was back, I was trying to hit like 7 days a week. Right? And my arms everything was hurting. You know, I talked to one of my boys. I got a trainer, and he really put me on the game. You know, I figured out that going to the gym is not just lifting weights; it's mental. Yeah. You know what I mean? You got to know how to work out, your form and your reps and all that. You know, but ever since that surgery, it's just changed, man. My whole outlook it's just changed, you know.
No, that's good. Like, how much weight have you lost? So I've noticed you lost a lot of weight, bro.
In the beginning, it was like about 27 pounds, I think it was.
Okay.
And I pretty much kept it off ever since then. But now that I'm on this journey, I know how to, you know, bring it up, take it down, bring it up, take it down. Because sometimes I bulk, sometimes I lose it. So I'm kind of like in control of it more. Because before it was just, you know, like, what do I do? You know, but
So what like for a day, right? What would be sort of like what would you eat during the day? Because for barbers, fam, like we work during like while you're working. Okay, say like on a Friday, all right. Like what would you eat during the course of the day on a Friday? You know, Fridays are like one of the busiest days in the barber industry, right? Like break down kind of like from breakfast to dinner, like how would you do that? Your intake.
okay, so what I do now, I meal prep.
Okay.
And a friend of mine got me on to meal prepping. She's competing right now. She has a lot of knowledge of food and you know how it does your body. So I contacted her one day and she was giving me like meal prep, you know, meals. And that was about a year ago. So I've been doing meal prepping in the morning. Right now, what I'm on right now, in the morning I will make eggs and spinach, maybe some avocados with it, and some kind of like protein. After that, I would do like a snack, Greek yogurt, some mixed vegetables, a little bit of honey. After that, I would do turkey and rice right now. After that, I would do chicken, rice, and vegetables. And my last meal is fish and some kind of vegetables. So when
We're talking about on a Friday.
Yeah, on a Friday.
While you at work?
Yes. I mean,
crazy.
I didn't do this overnight. It took a while to get used to it because I take my meals to work with me. So I figured out how long I'm gonna be and the variations of what time I'm gonna eat. So if I'm gonna be at work and I'm be eating 2 meals, I'll bring 2 meals with me.
Okay.
So I'll bring my first big meal and my second big meal. And then I'll just eat that. You know, it's still hard. Temptation is out there. You know, I be wanting pizza and all that shit. Well, I do indulge, like, you know, every now and then. You know, it's not every day, but, you know, I do have a balance. But it takes a lot of discipline, you know, to get your weight right, get your gym right, you know, and it's not really gonna come until you're really ready. You know, until you really look at yourself and I'm tired of this shit. Let me go on and do some shit. You know, it takes a long time.
Yeah.
You know, it's not easy at all.
So do you think you have more of a clearer mind, more clearer conscience since you're a little more health conscious than when you were before?
Absolutely, because I know a little bit on how the body works now. You know, I know what the body needs to keep functioning. You know, and I look at it as, you know, I have to do that if I'm going to be here. You know, I had to make that transition in my mind that this is it. This is what it's going to be. You know, so like I said, I gave up a lot of that, you know, trashy food and stuff for the bigger picture. You know, I'm 53 years old. I know I look 23, but you know, I'm 53.
Hey, one day you gotta let me dye that beard black, bro. You know what I mean? Let's get back to them 35. I mean,
you don't need no dye. The more gray you got means that you know something that somebody else don't know.
It's that wisdom,
That's
right?
wisdom, brother.
Yeah,
embrace
that.
I had no gray in my beard at one point.
I know. It is a blessing to have these grays, man.
It is.
I'm not there yet.
It is.
I'm not there. I'll dye my beard every 2 weeks.
Yeah?
I ain't lying to you.
Man, let that shit go, man.
No, I ain't letting nothing go.
Come on, Grandpa, let it go. Let it go, brother.
You know what? I'm gonna say
You're
it
gonna
on.
be the same person.
I'm gonna say it on camera, brother.
Okay.
Once I become a granddaddy, I'll stop dyeing my beard.
How many more years you got for that?
Man, I don't know. My daughter's 21. I hope I got 10 more years to go.
30 more years.
30 more years. You know, I'm not. No.
Yeah,
you know what, man? You know, Fat Joe, he got this like this podcast or whatever. He's always
too, by the way.
right. Fat Joe and Jada.
Yeah.
Joe and Jada.
Yeah.
And Joe is always like, man, the women, they out here dyeing their beard. I mean, they dyeing they don't got no beard, but you know what I'm saying? They dyeing their hair and they doing this and do that and the third. It's like, why can't men do the same thing?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
To a certain extent. I mean, you know, women are on something totally different than what we're on. You know what I mean?
What you mean?
You know, women, you know, they're about the attention. You know what I mean? Like, we really don't care about the attention as far as like looks and all that. You know
Man,
what I mean?
I don't know. I mean, our generation, maybe not. But this new generation, they is flashy as hell.
I give you that.
They in the mirror more than chicks sometimes. Cause if you think about it though, bro, why are these youngsters getting their hairline spray painted on? If they ain't trying to get, you know what I'm saying? What's up? Why are they getting their hairline spray painted if they ain't about that?
Do you do a lot of those, by the way?
I do. I'm weeklies. I probably do 6 a week. Okay. I do enough. I do enough to keep my skills going. But yeah, bro.
Are they asking for that or?
Yeah, they book it. There's a service that I have, and they book it, man.
Okay.
They book it, and these are grown men. So what? Once they got a taste of it, it's like crack. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
That hairline. Yeah. But it's a difference between like just having it look natural and have it just pop.
Yeah.
Than creating something that's not there.
Yeah. That's been my whole thing about.
You know what I mean?
Enhancements.
Creating something that is not there and creating lines that aren't there, because we all know it's good for the cameras, right? But it ain't good for your pillowcase.
Yeah, right.
Right? It's gonna come out within 2 or 3 days, you know. And so, I mean, this is the industry we're in, and I respect everybody's craft. We're not knocking anybody's craft, man, but you know, the barbering industry, man, we have to really we got to elevate ourselves, man, and really teach the essence of barbering. Yeah. You know what I mean? What you think about that, man? Because like you said, the younger generation is on a whole nother wavelength. The older generation is on a whole nother wavelength. Like, how can we merge the two together and be like, okay, what happened to the tradition? Because a lot of these barbers that do that, they don't even know how to use a straight razor. Right. You know, they can't even do a straight shave. Right. Straight razor shave.
Well, I can remember when we didn't use a straight razor on the lineups and all that. You just had to have sharp, edges. But I have no problem with the younger generation coming up and doing what they got to do.
Right.
You know, unfortunately, there will be traditions lost because they're evolving the industry. You know, like I think that the scissor technique, you know how you got a fro or even waves, and you go with the scissors, I think that's a lost technique. Because, you know, a lot of them are like, you know, doing the edges and doing it like that. I think the scissors are pretty much losing it, you know, but I don't have a problem with the younger guys coming in and doing none of that. That's what they're supposed to do. You know, when we came up, we was changing what the barbers did before us. You know what I mean? I just wish that, like you said, I wish that we can bridge that gap.
Yeah, just
a
bridge
little
it
more. You know what I mean?
Educate each other.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you shouldn't be too OG that you can't learn nothing from the younger guys. And the younger guys can't be so cocky where they can't learn from the older guys.
Right, exactly.
You know what I mean? So it has to be some kind of like bridge that we can, put there so we can all, and come up. You know, knowledge is power in this industry. You know, that's how we learn, by communicating through each other. You know, how am I supposed to know the new taper style if I'm not, on Instagram or whatever, learning new stuff from whoever it comes from?
Right.
You know, but that's our power, is communication within each other.
Right,
that's how we're gonna keep our industry going. You know, they're already trying to downsize it anyway, with all these new laws and all this other shit, It's up to us to keep it, alive, keep it, traditional.
So what new laws are you talking about?
Well, I know a lot of the state board laws, certain tools that we can't use anymore. Just certain stuff that we can't use anymore. I know when I first started, my barber's license lasted 5 years. I think now it's 1 year? 2 years now?
Every other year you got to do it now,
Yeah, see, 2 years. I've been 5 years, I don't have to worry about nothing.
yeah, it's every other year now.
And they're trying, I think they lowered the school time, I believe. So it's just like
they did.
They're not taking us seriously as they used to.
Right. There's no longer a practical.
Right.
I know in California you don't have to do a practical anymore. It's just
it's all written.
It's all written tests.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy. It went from 1,500 to 1,000 hours now, and then you don't even have to actually do a practical. It's just all written.
So all you gotta do is bring a pencil when you take the test.
Bring a pencil in your brain, bro. That's it.
Wow, I had mannequins, backpacks.
Oh, family, I
was dressed up, had a suit tie on.
Yeah, man. You know how it is. I brought two. I think I brought my first time. So I didn't pass my first time, right?
No, me neither.
I didn't pass my first time, but I passed my second time. And the second time, I brought two models. I brought two models. One model was for my shave, and then one model was for my haircut.
Okay.
Yeah. Do you remember that?
So I had one model.
Oh yeah, one model.
We did everything on one.
Yeah. But you could bring two models back then.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah, you could bring two models. You could bring a model for shave because some people's face, they don't do well with the razor.
Yeah, that was the whole problem about finding one because you had to have a beard that had some appearance because you had to put rollers or something in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You do your body waves, you do your rollers,
Yeah.
and then you have to show them on the mannequin your touch up, your retouch up.
Yep. And how to dispose of all that also.
Yeah.
I remember one time I forgot what it was. I think it was the dye. I was gonna pour it down the sink, right? And one of the guys that I went with said, trash can.
Right, exactly.
So that was
I think I
little
felt
shit.
the first time, fam, because my disinfectant can, the lid, it wasn't closed majority of my time during my practical. And so I remember that was one of the big things that you were telling me is like make sure that your disinfectant lid is closed and that it's filled all the way to the top so while your tools are submerged inside the disinfectant. And then when I look back, like after I did all my services, it was like kind of tilted to the side a little. And it's like,
You take points off of that?
Hell yeah. I think I walked out, you gotta have a 75. I walked out with like a 73, bro. I was hot. I drove all the way to LA when my feelings hurt.
Where was it in LA, by the way?
It was in Glendale.
Okay, mine was in Wilshire, on the Wilshire district somewhere over there.
Well, yeah, so my first one was out of Wilshire, it was in Koreatown.
Okay.
In Koreatown for Wilshire.
Okay.
Wilshire and 70th. And then the second time I took it, it was in Glendale, right off Colorado Street.
I remember that too. Yeah,
it was in Glendale. You know what I mean? So yeah, like you said, times are evolving in the industry, man.
I don't have a problem with it, man. I like the time change in it. I mean, that's what it's supposed to do. Keep me on my toes.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. So what are a couple of things that if people were to look at this, you want them to know about you, about Mike Brown, 1972?
Well, I just want them to know that I'm a real MF. I go through the same stuff that you guys go through. I went through the same journeys that maybe some of you might still be going through. I'm looking to be at the same place where a lot of you are trying to go. Like I said, this never stops. That's the beautiful thing about this industry, that it's always somewhere to go. It's avenues all through the industry. You just gotta just figure out what you want to do. And it's there, but I'm no different than anybody watching this. I have nothing special about Mike Brown. I went through all the battles, like I told you. I'm still going through a few, and I'm trying to, find my way still, and that's just life. You never stop trying to find your way, and it's always gonna be some shit. From 10 years old all the way up to 100, it's gonna be some stuff that you're gonna have to work through. And I just want everybody to know that, I'm somebody that you can come holler at if you got a question. I'll let you know what I know. I'm just a real dude. I'm just a kid from Chicago.
Kid from Chicago in the IE.
That's it.
I always wanted to ask you, Mike. You've been in the game 24 years.
Yeah.
And you never wanted to own a barbershop?
I did. In the beginning, I did.
Yeah.
But now that I got older, I have no patience for people. I have no patience for people's drama. I just can't do it. If I was to get a shot, it would be me and maybe the homie. You know what I mean? But I just can't manage attitudes, and I just don't have the patience for it, bro. I don't.
Yeah.
So what I'm kind of doing now, I'm kind of revamping my product line. Shadow Edge. I'm gonna take the logo. I'm gonna revamp everything. I'm just gonna start all over again. And I'm gonna just settle into that, into sales and products and stuff like that, and maybe get a little suite or something, maybe later on down the line. But my end game is to be on movie sets and stuff like that, where I can just kick back. You know what I mean? So I still got to go do my cosmetology, get all that done. But I'm gonna work this product line first, see where that takes me, and then my end game will probably be in some trailer or some shit. But yeah.
At the end of the day.
Yep.
product line. So what type of, like, you talking about like beard oils, like razors, like what are you thinking as far as, or is it a secret for us?
No, I can let you know a little something.
Little something like, yeah. So which way are you trying to go? Like shampoo, conditioner?
So when I'm in the shop, I use a lot of products, and some of the products don't do exactly what I want to do. So I have to look at certain products and trying to come up with my own way of doing things. So right now, what I'm working on is a curl sponge like cream. Because I know there's a lot of conditioners out there that people use and a lot of other stuff, but I want something specifically for that. Something that's healthy in it, not a lot of chemicals. Something that'll keep the hair, shiny and clean looking. I'm working on a spritz, shampoo, conditioner, something maybe with like some CBD in it, something like something healthy with it, and because I don't see a lot of, like, as I say, a lot of black products for us.
Black card.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
That's getting marketed at a high volume. I know there's a lot out there, but when you go online and see all these products, it's pomade for slick backs and all this other stuff. I don't think we really have a lane for us that's really strong.
They did back in the day,
They
man.
did back in
but
the day.
it's you had Crown, you had Murray's, right? You had Dax, you had all that stuff, but that stuff wasn't good for us, bro.
Yeah.
Like it was
full of chemicals.
It was full of chemicals. It was clogging up our pores. It was giving us acne. It was doing all types of reverse effects of healthiness that we need. You know what I mean? So we need more product lines like that, more natural, organic lines. So man, I hope. Well, I can't wait until it comes out, man. You know what I mean? Shoot, I'll be one of your first customers to buy it, because I'm a fan of Mike Brown, man.
Appreciate that. I'm a fan of you too, brother. I've been wanting to say that too, because I remember you telling me about the podcast and what you want to do, and and I was at home and said, I'm telling you, I'm really proud of the progress that you made doing this. You set your mind to something and you did it.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean? That's very important. That's something you teach your son to.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Put your mind to something, go ahead and you go forward with it, because I'm the type of person, I'm the same way. Like, if I start cleaning the bathroom, I can't stop until this morning, until it's clean.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Once I put my line to something, it's like I'm all the way in. And, I'm proud of you for doing that, brother. You providing this platform for us, to get our word out there and spread the word. I'm proud of you for
I
it.
appreciate that, man. I don't know if people know, like, I used to do this, like, Instagram Live, like, was it like 3 or 4 years ago?
That's about that. I did my first one.
Your first one.
Matter of fact, it was the first episode. Just let
First
everybody know.
episode. He was the very first episode. We're talking about when I used to do Instagram Lives. Back, shoot. Was it during the pandemic?
It was during the pandemic.
During the pandemic. And then I started filming with my man Temple. Shout out to my man Temple behind the scenes. And so I really wanted to, bring you out again, man, so we can have something solid. So people can really know your story, bro. And I just feel like, real genuine individuals need to be blessed, man. So I'm your number one fan, like I said before. I can't wait. I can't wait until, till your product line comes out, And then if you, like you say, if you do open up a little shop, man, I want to be there too for the grand opening, bro. And so, man, I'm excited for you, man.
Appreciate you, brother. Appreciate it.
I really am, man.
And we need that more camaraderie between barbers and just people, period. To, give everybody their flowers, man, Give them some kind of motivation to keep going. This time I didn't have that when I was going through my surgery. I didn't have nothing. And when I was coming up in Barber, there was no, nobody to tell any of us to keep going.
Right.
There was none of that.
Right.
So now that we have these platforms, I think it's good that we come out and encourage each other, man. You know what I mean? And I appreciate you for that too, man.
Okay. Hey, this is Kid Hill Bryant, man, a.k.a. K the Barber on the Let's Talk About It podcast. Oh, my boy Mike Brown, 1972, owner of Shadow Edge. We appreciate you listening in. Hey, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to like the podcast, share it to everybody that you guys know. We're going to have the audio out soon on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. We really appreciate y'all tuning in.
Yep, you guys, please support this brother's podcast. We need him out here. We need him to spread the word. We need this platform for all of us to communicate. So please support this dude. You guys can follow me at Mike Brown 1972. I'm gonna get back on this haircut because I ain't cut a goddamn thing. So I see y'all.
Peace.